Learning to communicate effectively. Chapter 7. One thing successful people have in common is skill in using words. Earning power and word skills are so closely tied together that you can safely expect to increase your earnings simply by increasing your word power. Happiness too depends to a great extent upon our ability to express ideas, desires, hopes, or disappointments. Many people are unhappy because they are unable to express themselves and they carry their ideas and emotions bottled up inside. Many people are handicapped if they do not know how to start a conversation, especially with a stranger. They have a wealth of interesting ideas on tap if they only knew how to turn on the spigot. William James hit the nail on the head when he explained the reason so many find it difficult to be good conversationalists. They are afraid of either saying something too trivial and obvious or something insincere, or in some way or other saying something not adequate to the situation. Stop trying to be perfect. No one can fascinate every minute. Small talk isn't supposed to be brilliant. Everyone is tried, everyone engages in small talk that doesn't say anything clever or insignificant. Small talk is necessary to get the wheels of conversation turning. Realizing this and not being afraid of being dull will enable you to start a conversation even with a perfect stranger. You may be surprised to find that you are saying clever and interesting things because you aren't trying to do so. Warm up your subject. Starting a conversation involves a warm up period. Don't expect to be hot at the beginning. Small talk not only can start a conversation for you, but it can be used to unlimber others. Get people talking about themselves. The next time you are introduced to someone and cannot think of a thing to say, try warming up the other person with questions like, where are you from? What do you think of our weather? Do you have a family? What business are you in? These questions get others talking about themselves and are surefire openers. They break the ice and they show that you are interested in them. You don't have to search for a topic of mutual interest. You start them off on the one topic on which they are experts themselves. The art of being a good conversationalist consists not so much of thinking up a lot of clever things to say or heroic experience you can relate, but in opening up others and getting them to talk. If you can stimulate others to talk, you will acquire a reputation as a good conversationalist. If you can keep others talking, nothing will work better to get him to open up to you and your ideas. Ask questions to interest others. Keep the conversation steered to the other person's interest by asking the questions why, where, how. If someone says, I've got a little 25-acre place back home in Indiana, don't rush in with, well, I own 500 acres in Texas. Instead, ask, where in Indiana? How long have you had it? These and other questions like it will gain you a reputation of being one of the most interesting people your companion has ever met. There is a deadly sin in human relations that you need to avoid. Humans are innately selfish. They are first, last, and always interested in themselves. Show that you are interested in others, and they will subsequently get interested in you. Don't be like the playwright who, after talking about himself and his work for over 2 hours, turned to his companion and said, but that's enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about my plays? You are a human too, and it is natural to be tempted to talk about yourself. You want to shine, you want to impress others, but you will rate much higher in others' estimation if you turn the conversation to them rather than to yourself. Others will have a much higher opinion of you. Ask yourself, what do I want out of this situation? Do you want to enhance your own ego, or do you want the other person's approval, business permission, or goodwill? If all you want is to inflate your own ego, then talk about yourself exclusively. But don't expect to get anything else out of the conversation. Public speakers talk about themselves, but these people are invited to do so, and their audience is voluntary, not captive. Unless you have hired a hall and advertised in advance, your listeners will have no way of knowing that they are going to be held captive to your exploits. Talk about yourself when you are invited and ask. If others are interested, they will ask. Then talk a little about yourself but don't overdo it. Answer questions and then turn the spotlight back to them. Use the Me Too technique. Another time when it is correct to bring yourself into the conversation is when you can tell the other person something about yourself that will tie into something they have said or form a bond between you. If someone says, I was raised on a farm, and you say, I was too, and tell a little something about your experiences, it makes them feel important. The reason for bringing yourself into the conversation in a way that forms a bond is flattering to others. By doing so, you are saying, I agree with you, I like that too, I believe in myself. Anything about you or your past that is similar to others will help them to like you. We like people who agree with us and dislike people who disagree. Those who disagree are a potential threat to our self esteem. When you agree, you help the other person like himself. Even if there are points on which you must disagree, always seek out points on which you can agree. When you have established some ground, however small, on which you can agree, it will be much easier to come together on those on which you disagree. Use happy talk. A person who falls into the habit of talking pessimistically, of constantly relating his personal problems, isn't going to win any popularity contest. If you have personal problems, go to your pastor, a counselor, or a trusted friend. Don't air troubles in public. Don't go on about your ailments and operations. Describing your suffering doesn't make you a hero, it makes you a bore. Sit right down and write yourself a letter. If you have something on your chest that you need to relieve, try writing yourself a letter. Put down exactly how you feel, don't hold back. Go into detail about how you have been wronged, how unfair life is. Then, when you are tough, burn the letter. It has served its purpose in giving you an outlet, and you should experience relief. It will drain off your emotions and elevate the compelling need to tell people. Sometimes you may need to repeat this or do it 3 times. But after that, you will find that you no longer want to think about it, much less talk about it. Overcome the temptation to tease and be sarcastic. Most of us tease others because we think that they will like it. Husbands tease their wives and vice versa in public. Out of the mistaken notice that Out of the mistaken notion that it is a cute way to show affection. We make sarcastic remarks hoping that others will recognize our cleverness, see the humor, and not take the personal offense. Teasing and sarcastic remarks are both aimed at the self esteem of others, and anything that threatens self esteem is dangerous business, even when done in fun. If the other person has known you long enough, likes you well enough, and you do not overdo it, you may get away with teasing. But the odds are so great against it that it is much safer not to try. Start today to utilize these methods to improve your communication skills. Practice on strangers. Keep at it day after day until it becomes habit. Chapter 8, Listening. Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote, to be able to listen to others in a sympathetic and understanding manner is perhaps the most effective mechanism in the world for getting along with people and trying up their friendship for good. You meet with someone and after leaving you feel that things didn't go as you would have liked. What could I have said to make him more friendly, more amenable to my ideas? You ask. Surprisingly, the answer may be nothing. You did poorly, not because of anything you said or failed to say, but because you didn't listen properly. Listening makes you clever. Most of us want others to think that we are clever and intelligent. The one sure way to convince people of that is to listen and pay attention to what they have to say. The fact that you place enough importance on what they are saying to listen attentively convinces them that you are a very smart person. Think of your friends and acquaintances who has a reputation for being wise and intelligent. Is it the person who is always ready with the answer even before he hears the question? Is it the person who interrupts to give a comment before others finish? Or is it the person who does a lot of listening? People will tell you what they want if you listen. You can't make a hit in the dark. Automakers keep a pulse on what the public wants before they design their cars. And you have to respond properly to the ball that's thrown to you. You must continually make appropriate responses. Good human relations is two-way communication, give and take, action and response. If you don't know what others want or how they feel about a situation or what their particular needs are, you are out of touch with them. And if you can't touch them, you can't move them. Too much talk gives you away. Sometimes there are situations in dealing with others where it is important that we do not show our hand prematurely and where we need to feel out the position of others. The strategy used is to first find out what others know, what they will settle for before showing your hand. Just as we can determine another's position by listening to them, too much talk on our part gives our position away. Successful people encourage others to talk and to keep on talking while they keep their mouths shut. If you can't get others to talk enough, they cannot disguise real feelings or motives. They may try, but they invariably will give themselves away. So, if you don't want others to know what's really on your mind, keep your mouth shut and listen. Others will find you out if you just keep talking long enough. Listening helps overcome self consciousness. Listening carefully to what others have to say, paying strict attention to their tone of voice and inflection of words, gets your focus of attention off yourself. If all your attention is on others, what they are saying, what they want, what they need, you can't be self conscious and therefore shut off. When you're shut off, you can't deal with others effectively. And if all of your focus is on yourself, you cannot deal with the world around you. It's not wrong to think highly of yourself, but it doesn't work to keep all of your attention on yourself. Don't try too hard. William James said that the reason most conversations are dull is that people do not relax and therefore increase their chances of saying something really appropriate. You have to know what people want, what they need, and who they are in order to deal with them effectively. You must listen carefully, sympathetically, and patiently. You have to know what people want, what they need, and who they are in order to deal with them effectively. You must listen carefully, sympathetically, and patiently. One of the highest compliments you can pay is to listen to someone. You increase their self esteem, for everyone likes to think that they have something to say that is worth saying. One of the most deflating things that you can do to another's ego is to brush them off before hearing what they have to say. People like having attention paid to them. Practice the art of listening. Number one, look at the person who is talking. People worth listening to are worth looking at, and it will also help you concentrate on what they are saying. Number two, appear deeply interested. If you agree, nod your head. If they tell a story, smile, respond to the cues. Number third, lean towards the person. Ever notice how you tend to lean towards an interesting speaker and away from a dull one? Number 4, ask questions. This lets people know that you are still listening. Number 5, don't interrupt, instead, ask for more. People are highly complimented if you allow them to finish without interruption, but they are really flattered when you draw them out with. Would you mind elaborating on the last point? Number 6, stick to the speaker's subject. Don't change subjects no matter how anxious you are to get onto a certain topic. Number 7, use the speaker's words to get your point across. Repeat some of the points covered. This not only proves that you have been listening, but it allows you to introduce your own ideas without opposition. Preface your own remarks with as you pointed out.